Finally, we can drop the color management issue and go direct to the string option settings. So, as I showed you before, outline me default node, and it's already open. Actually, it's not. You have to reselect it. So let's see. Just reselect it, and the me default option appears here. All the string options. You remember, since we have opened the render setting panel is open and the indirect lighting tab is open in the master class string with the portal light, the physical sun and sky, and all the other mental ray feature which are present here in the scene. When you open the render setting panel, it automatically disables the irradiant particles string option. So just one more time, input true. Sorry, this is capital letter. I have caps lock enabled. So re-enable the irradiance particle feature, which is now enabled. And let's scroll down to, but before to do that, I would like to, in the outliner, hide again the hidden object, just to have more speed in our render. We don't need to render all the object in the scene. So one more time, select set members, and we will hide them. We will leave only open the empty classroom with the chalkboard, okay, only this. And so let's enable again the string options and scroll down in the string options. Let's check the IBL environment lighting node string option first. Scroll down, contrast. Okay, here start the string option from, as I told you earlier in the presentation, from string option 28. So the lighting mode is set to light. Since the environment lighting mode is set to light, let's open the PDF 1 second, one more time, and read again the environment lighting mode option. Enable the built-in IBL mode for final quality if set to light. So now we are using the final quality, or for preview quality in interactive application with approximate. So back to the Maya scene, let's test first how looks a quick render with the value set to light. So just open the render view panel one more time, and let's select this region, only the chalkboard, and let's see what happened. Render region. Open the output window, and let's check what mental ray is doing right now. Importance, or the importance is saving the IP irradiance particle map, and now is computing already final gather points. Now that the final gather points are already computed, start the progressive rendering. As you can see, now is setting subsampling size to 1, and we start the subsampling frame computation, subframe, sorry. As you can see, the image is very dark because we hide also the portal light, I think. Anyway, let's see a little bit what changed by changing the value to approximate. I will let go the progressive rendering for, let's say, 10 frames, not more, because we will not need to go to the end of the 100 subframes. Could be also less than 10, since it's taking already 32 seconds. Was better if I disable some feature like final gather or global illumination, and we just go a little bit more brute force. Brute force means without interpolation, like techniques like final gather, for example. But let's say we will stop around frame 5. Now that we reach frame 5, subframe 5 of the progressive rendering, we can interrupt the rendering, and let's see how it looks. Very dark, and let me check if I hide also the portal light is still there. So open again the render view panel, and what we will do now is try the approximate, just to see if the speed change and what change actually. So type in the value string option approximate. Don't forget that later we can control the exposure of this image, which is very dark right now, with the default view color manager from the render view panel. So now set to approximate the mode, and let's go back 1 second to the PDF and scroll down to the other approximate to the approximate split. In case of approximate lighting mode, it draws the given number of additional samples from the environment internally. This can reduce color noise at the cost of biased results. Only values greater than 1 are recognized. The default value is 4. And let's check the other option, because when you go with the approximate lighting mode, these two string option is what control the output. So in case of approximate lighting mode, cast the given number of visibility rays per internal sample. This can reduce the visibility noise at the expense of increased ray tracing overhead. Please note the default value of the environment lighting approximate split vis string option is set to 2 by default. Now back to the Maya scene, to the render view panel, and now we input approximate. Let me check if the term is correct. Approximate, yeah, double P. So I am Italian, I don't forget. And let's scroll down to the other approximate split, you see, set to 4 by default, and the other is set to 2 by default, the environment lighting approximate split vis. So let's try to render with this. Since the image is very dark, later I will show you how to give more illumination to the scene to make it brighter, and actually we will use the color multiplier of the sun and sky node, of the physical sun and sky node, and I will explain you why we use that later. So let's scroll down again to the approximate lighting mode here and make a quick test render. By the way, I would like to show you that here means all my image is kept in the main render view panel, because I enable this option, which is under the render drop-down menu in the main toolbar of the render view panel. I enable the render all layers and then click this small square box, and I always use this option, keep layers, to see the different variation when I input different settings for the lighting. So remember, just use this when you want to see all the different variation of lighting settings, input settings. Now we just close this and try to render again. Let's see what changed. Open the output window panel again, and let's see what happened. Again the importance. Again the irradiance particles is save the map physical 14.map.ip, sorry. And now computing again the final gather points. Now, as before, the final gather points computation is done, and we start the progressive rendering subsampling. And as before, we will go to frame subsampling frame 5, number 5, not more, because we don't have much time. And the next test, I will increase the light contribution of the physical sun and sky by increasing the color multiplier value, so you will have a more bright picture. But I want to show you the picture dark like this because I will explain a small concept which was described by Dagon when using the IBL and the progressive string option in conjunction to the physical sun and sky and the portal light, mostly with the physical sun and sky. Okay, the render now is on subframe number 2. Okay, now we reach subframe number 5. Let's stop the progressive render, reduce the output window, and let's check the difference with the previous scene with the light mode. This is the light mode, you see, and it took 4 minutes 35 seconds. This is the approximate, which takes 5 minutes. So the light mode seems to be more fast, but you see the difference in the lighting between the light mode enabled in the value field, in the value string option, is let's say the approximate is more, there is more diffuse bounces and shift more on the blue color. This is more neat. The light mode is definitely more final quality. As you can see, the white color on the ceiling is more white. With the approximate, everything turns to be more blue. Everything shifts to the blue. Now, before to increase the light contribution from the physical sun and sky and from the portal light, because the portal light actually concentrate the light which is emitted by the physical sun and sky, mainly from the sun directional node and from the sun shaped node, and it concentrates this light exactly where it needed, and it will concentrate by the shape of the area light that holds the portal light. You remember we saw earlier in this presentation, I spoke about this. The square, you remember the square portal light, which is this one. Outside the window, you see, this one. I guess you remember. So let's open the render view panel one more time. And in the Me Default option, which now disappeared again, so recall it here, we open the render view panel and start to change the other values in the environment lighting approximate split. Let's increase to the value 8. We double the values, okay? And we do the same for the environment lighting approximate split width. Let's see what happens. And we make one more time a render region. Open the output panel again. Let's see how speed calculate the importance and the irradiant particles. Yeah, the same as before. Now start the computation of the final gather points. We will compare the speed and the quality of the image with these different settings, okay? Don't forget, now we are using the environment lighting mode in set to approximate, which is a preview quality mode. As before, the final gather computation, the final gather points are already computed, so start the progressive rendering. Let's give a second to see if increase the speed or reduce the speed compared before. It seems more slow, to be honest, because we increased the environment lighting approximate split value. We double the value to the value 8, and we also double the value of the environment lighting approximate split this string option. Just by guessing it seems quite slower to me, so let's see these 5 subframes, how long will take. So I guess will be a matter of mostly of time, not of quality, but maybe the ray tracing quality also will be better than the previous settings. So let's see what happens. But it takes much more, the time is longer, as already described before from the PDF, from the online help. Since the image is still rendering, let's see from the, again, let's check. When you raise the value of the approximate split string option, it will reduce color noise at the cost of biased result. Here seems that the render time will be not affected, but when you increase the environment lighting approximate split with string option, which is set, remember, set to the default value of 2, we increase to 4. This can reduce the visibility noise at the expenses of increased ray tracing overhead, means the rendering will be slower. Let's go to check what is doing Maya. How many frames already rendered? Let's see. 3. Yeah, it's very slow compared before. Hopefully the solution will be better, will be a lighting solution better than the previous one, but it's taking really long time. Okay, now the 5th subframe is rendered. We can interrupt the rendering and let's see what are the main difference with the previous values. So let's scroll back in the render view panel to the previous 557, 558. Actually it's not increased much, it's increased only 1 millisecond, or how you call it, but and there is no discerning difference. Let me see, 502. Yeah, no, there is the difference. So let's see. This is the previous values using the approximate lighting mode, as you can see, and this is the light mode. So let's go. This is the light mode. This is the previous approximate mode with the environment lighting approximate split set to the value 4, and here we set the value 2 before, and the time is 502, and this is the new one with the almost 6 seconds. So the difference is not huge on the small scene like this, and the quality I don't see much difference. It's just more bright, the light, the contribution from the environment outside, but as usually it shifts on the blue even more. You see the difference? So let's say that when you increase the value of the environment lighting approximate split, it will not affect much render time, and it will reduce the noise. But when you increase the environment lighting approximate split with string option, definitely will increase the render time and ray tracing overhead, they call. Let's give a last check how different they are. Means the previous settings was more dark, the image, and this is more bright. It's like concentrate, like a more bright means there is more light contribution from the environment, and this is the light mode.